Officer Dunn, I have to say, I admire your service. I admire your voice. I'm so grateful to get to talk to you today. And I admire that you use your platform to talk about taking care of your colleagues and taking care of one another. It's a pleasure to get to talk to you. How are you doing?
I'm well. Thank you for asking. I'm glad to be here with you. Nice to talk with you.
What do you think of the hearing this week that makes so clear that on both sides of the equation, Trump wanted the extremists there who hurt you and hurt your colleagues, and they were there because he asked them to be there?
I wish I could say I was shocked at about a lot of the revelations that have happened from the committee. I've always had my opinions and my thoughts about what I thought happened and what occurred, but just knowing that this is what really happened and it's not my opinion anymore, these are facts. It's like Sergeant Gonell said in his op-ed, the betrayal. Maybe I was hoping for a long shot that there was a chance that, no, there's no way this could have happened. Okay, I was wrong. But nah, it came to fruition that the president knew about it, he sent them, and he didn't do anything about it.
I mean, there's something in your testimony from a year ago, and I mean, I've played that Hitman clip probably 30 times on this show, where you either knew it because of what you all faced and what you heard from Trump supporters, or you just knew it when you called for them to get not just the hitman, but the person who hired the hitman, right? You saw this coming.
So, yeah. Well, when we were there on the 6th, the people who were there, who were attacking us, who were beating us, who were beating my coworkers, spraying us, they told us that that's why they were there. The president sent us. So we knew on January 6th why they were there and who sent them. They told us. So, obviously there are people on the right side of the aisle who have said, the president's supporters who have said that this was an inside job or they had FBI informants there and all that stuff. Okay, I'm not going to go back and forth with people. Let's lay all the facts out on the table and let's get to the bottom of it, period. No opinions, no hypothesis, just straight facts. And why should anybody be against that? And I've been saying that since day one. Let's lay all the facts out on the table. And I'm glad that the committee is doing that.
Are there any part of hearing the facts that's just too much? I mean, I was thinking, and I think we saw images of all of you when Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony about the radio traffic, that they knew that Trump supporters were in trees with AR-15s. They knew that they had self-fashioned spears. I mean, some of what we see on the video is the spears and the flagpoles used as weapons against all of you. I've had the privilege of interviewing Officer Gonell. I know what his injuries are. I mean, is any of it too much, or do you need to be in there?
It's not too much. It's a lot, but I guess too much would mean I would have to leave. But it's more important for me to see it all the way through and sit there and be there. One, because I want to show the committee that I am there. I am not going anywhere until myself, and the American people get answers. There are people that can't be there, people who've lost their lives who would want to be there. So the least I can do is suck it up and just tough it out. Yeah, it's not easy to sit there and watch those images, the video clips of officers getting beat. Nobody wants to relive that, no matter how mentally strong you are. It's not easy. But I owe it to this country. I owe it to my coworkers. I owe it to the officers who can't be there. I owe it to the families of those officers who lost their lives or took their lives. And it's necessary, and it has to be done.
This committee's work is bipartisan. Liz Cheney is the vice chair, and Adam Kinzinger is there too. But there's only one party's members who were at the White House in December conspiring with the White House on how to overturn the election. Is it weird when you see them? Do they say things privately that they don't say on TV? Has anyone apologized to you for their role in helping to further Donald Trump's lies about the election?
No, when I'm at work, I'm doing my job. I'm focused on being a Capitol Police officer and, providing a secure environment for no matter what member it is. It doesn't matter. So I try not to get into those discussions while I'm at work. I do my job no matter who it is that I'm protecting, the right, the left, Trump supporters, non-Trump supporters. It doesn't matter to me because at the end of the day, it's all about defending democracy. And that's what's important to me. And January 6th shows that how important us to keep that forefront of the mission at the forefront, that defending democracy is what we need to do. And not just the Capitol Police, but all members of America need to do that. It's very fragile, as some of the political pundits have said. It's a talking term, how fragile democracy is, but it was on full display on January 6th, and it continues to be put on display with all the threat that's going on, the ongoing threat to, the elections and everything like that. We heard in the testimony that one of the Oath Keepers says he's worried about the 2024 election. What are we going to do to, continue to defend our democracy?
After 9/11, we talk so much about the failure of imagination. People didn't think that terrorists would turn airplanes into missiles and fly them into buildings in the Capitol. You could say there was a failure of imagination, maybe, although by the end of the hearing, I'm not sure we could even say that. It sounds like everybody knew exactly what they were putting into motion on January 6th. To your point that democracy is still very much in danger, that Donald Trump could re-enter politics, not that he's really ever left. What are your fears when you stand there on duty, not treating anyone differently based on their political affiliation? But do you feel like there'll always be sort of a before and after January 6th?
Well, one thing that I realized the most about January 6th and those people that attacked the Capitol, that attacked democracy, that attacked us, they thought that they were right. And why did they think they were right? Because the most powerful person in the world told them to do it, and he told them that they were right. So how could you not feel emboldened and have the audacity to do what they did? The only reason that they could have that audacity is the most powerful person in the world told them to do it. So that's what the danger is. We have to call lies out. We have to speak out against mistruth. What's wrong is wrong. And if I would have more respect for individuals that, didn't perpetuate lies, but just more so said that they didn't care about the truth. It's so infuriating that these people they create these narratives that don't even exist, that have been debunked over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I would just have more respect for them if they just said they just don't care about the truth rather than just pushing lies. So.
Right, or just own it, right? Lies help me get where I'm going. This came up, and it involved you, an image that was seen around the world. And I know you fielded questions. I'm sorry for asking you again. But what are we to make of an insurrectionist like Mr. Ayers' remorse? It seems that on the front of de-radicalization, it's important that he doesn't believe the things that he believed to the degree he believed them on January 6th. But it feels like he asked a lot of you. Just tell me how you see Mr. Ayers and anyone who sees those lies as lies now.
I mean, good for him for acknowledging that, he saw these lies. But I also have to question, you had, just like what I just said, during his testimony, Congresswoman Cheney asked him, do you still believe if the election was stolen? And what did he say? Not so much now. He couldn't even fully denounce that the election was stolen. So
yeah.
He needs to come to terms with whatever he needs to come to terms to. As far as the apology, good for him for apologizing, but I'm not in a position now to accept that apology. How can you focus on forgiveness and healing when you still have justice that's still outstanding? There's no accountability. I'm still focused on that right now. Then we can focus on healing. But until then, I don't have anything as far as forgiveness. And forgive me, he did say that his life had been turned upside down and he lost his job. And, he's, kind of like the woe is me thing. And that sucks. However, there was an individual there sitting with us, Aaron Smith, whose husband, Jeffrey Smith, defending the Capitol, killed himself a few days afterwards. So when you talk to somebody else about losing everything, or Officer Signick, and tell that to his mother about you losing everything. So I'm sorry, I'm short on the sympathy with him, but good for him for apologizing.
What does justice look like for you? Do you need to see an investigation from the Justice Department that comes from this congressional probe?
I mean, it's only fitting. It's in their name, the Justice Department, right? I guess they're the ones who determine what justice is. You know, I look at accountability as I've struggled to answer this question. What does it look like? Because, you know, I want everybody to go to jail. Just as the selfish take that I have. It's not realistic, though. Just accountability, I guess, whatever it takes to make sure that not only these individuals, but future people do not do this crime or this again. So.
I want to ask you one personal question, just as a follower of all your social media posts. Something that you have sort of gifted all of us is this connection, check on each other, get help. Where does that come from? How have you lived that, and how are you able to talk about this thing that just, regardless of whether people have been through such a public trauma, is so hard for most people to talk about?
You know what? I believe in creating their own narrative, create the day that you want to have. Don't let people talk about you and create things for you. You own it. You create it. You create your experience, your mindset. Sure, it's able. In sports, I used to play football, and our coach used to tell us, if you had a good play, yeah, celebrate it, but move on. If you had a bad play, don't dwell on it, move on. Like, life comes at you fast, and you have to keep going up, down. It doesn't matter. Like, life doesn't pause because you had a down moment or you had a good moment. You have to ride the wave. It's a continual wave. I always say that healing is a journey. It's not a destination. So you have to continue going. And honestly, it sounds like people say that you got it all together. I am figuring it out as I go. I don't have a clue what tomorrow's going to bring. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I'm just figuring out as I go, and leaning on my support system, leaning on people that are there for me. You got to, people that feed your fire, that's the people you have to lean on, and not listen to like naysayers and stuff, because there've been a lot. So